Okay, this piece I'm very insecure about that I'm about to read because I haven't really spent that much time working on it. But I've been encouraged to read it, so I will. So, okay.
One day I walked by a Barnes & Noble's on 83rd Street and Broadway, and I saw a book by Julia Alvarez, who's a Dominican author, How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accent. Even though Julia Alvarez's story is not my story, it did make me think, well, she's in a book. Maybe I could be in a book, you know? I come from an incredible family of strong, brilliant women. My mom, she was working 60, 70 hours a week, putting herself through school at Bronx Community College. I remember I was like 8 or 9 years old. She would be like, come, and make me carry a can of paint. And she would go out in the building at night where no one would bother her and paint over all the graffiti and sweep and mop the floors. And I thought, oh, if someone sees us, they're going to think we're so whack. When I asked my mom, I'm like, why did you do all this? She would say, if we didn't take care of our building, who will? If we don't take care of our community, who will? When I say I'm Dominican, you know, and maybe it's not a Dominican thing. Maybe it's just my family thing. Maybe it's an immigrant thing. This kind of collective care, to me, is the thing I'm most proud of. And I think that if I hadn't grown up immigrant, I don't know. I don't think that those lessons wouldn't have been so imprinted in me. When I know what actually was happening, and I look back at the way the New York Times used to write about our neighborhood, and it would call it Little Nam and very dangerous, I look at it and I say, oh, wow, I grew up in that. But what was centered was love. Growing up, looking outside of our window and seeing the Audubon building every day, and also asking questions about it now as an adult, realizing that many people did not know what actually happened in that building, is really what inspired me to write about this community and keep remembering, you know, like remember is like the word, if you split the re and the member, it's like the members of the body, it's like you're bringing it together. I can't remember reading any women writers up until I got to college. I took a class on African-American literature. It was slave narratives and Toni Morrison and June Jordan and all these writers. Like, there were glimpses of what does it mean to be a woman of color working class. I started reading Chicana writers. And then something started to be kind of brewing. I wasn't caught up in like, I want to be a writer. It was more like, I really want to tell this story. I want people to know that we are here. We are here. These women are here. They've been shaping the city. And I mean, this fight continues. I literally can't think of that many representations of working class women in film or books. There's very few. It's a beautiful thing because books, like books by Toni Morrison, reading them, like James Baldwin, these writers that I was introduced to early in my life when I was super angry. I felt the injustices so deeply in me. I just got to sit down with the realities of the Black diaspora, you know, like Edwidge Danticat, this wonderful Haitian writer. I remember reading her book, Crick Crack, in my early 20s and just thinking, wow, there's a way forward for us. Imagination is necessary to get us through this. When I face obstacles, I always pivot to my mother and what she survived. Very little infrastructure to support her. And the thing that has helped her survive and thrive is community. During that time where I couldn't find a publisher for my novel, I had community that believed in my work. So even in that moment when, you know, you're receiving these letters of rejection, like, we don't know who's gonna wanna read this book. It's beautiful, but like, there's no market. I'm like, yeah, because whatever market you're trying to reach is not me. Because I know I needed this book. Before I wrote it, I needed it. Many people need it, and they've always needed it. We're doing important work. You have to believe you're doing important work. And if you honestly are doing it because you need it and your community is reminding you that it's necessary, then everything will be okay. Ooh, if you were reading the summary of my life up until this moment, what would that sound like? Angie Cruz is the daughter of immigrant women who proved to be resilient despite all the challenges they faced in New York City. In her everyday, through her work, through the way she lives her life, she tries to make them proud. I think that's probably right.